The Forgotten Diary Entry 1. The house stood on the edge of town, abandoned for decades, with ivy creeping up its cracked walls and broken windows staring like hollow eyes. The locals avoided it, speaking in hushed tones about its dark past. Some claimed it was haunted, others believed it was cursed. Either way, no one dared to enter until Sarah found the diary. Recognition. Sarah, a curious and adventurous teenager, loved exploring old places. She had heard the stories about the old house and decided to see for herself what lay inside. One cloudy afternoon, she crossed the threshold into the decaying mansion. Dust motes danced in the dim light, and the air was thick with the scent of mildew. In one of the upstairs rooms, she found an old, leather-bound diary resting on a rotting desk. The diary belonged to Emily Thornton, a young woman who had lived in the house a century ago. The entries started innocently, describing daily life, but soon turned darker. Emily wrote of strange noises at night, shadowy figures watching her, and a growing sense of dread. Her final entry was abrupt, ending with the words, "They are here. I cannot escape." Suspicion. Sarah was both intrigued and unnerved. She showed the diary to her best friend, Jake, who was skeptical. He thought it was just an old story, meant to scare kids. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. She started having strange dreams, dreams of the house, of Emily, and of something dark lurking in the shadows. As days passed, Sarah noticed peculiar occurrences around her. She would hear faint whispers when she was alone, feel sudden chills, and catch glimpses of movement out of the corner of her eye. The diary seemed to pulse with an energy of its own, and Sarah couldn't resist its pull. Confirmation. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah and Jake returned to the house. They explored deeper, finding more clues about Emily's fate. In the basement, they discovered a hidden room behind a crumbling wall. The room was filled with old, decayed furniture and strange symbols painted on the floor. In the center of the room was a small wooden box, sealed with a rusted lock. Jake pried it open, revealing a bundle of letters and a worn photograph of Emily. The letters detailed a series of rituals meant to protect the house from an ancient evil, a spirit that demanded a sacrifice every generation to remain contained. Realization. As they read the letters, the temperature in the room plummeted, and the whispers grew louder. They realized the spirit was awakening, angered by their intrusion. The diary had been a lure, a way to bring new victims to the house. Emily hadn't escaped, she had been the sacrifice. Sarah and Jake tried to leave, but the house wouldn't let them. The doors slammed shut, the walls seemed to close in, and the shadows grew darker. They were trapped, just like Emily. Twist. Desperation set in as the spirit revealed itself, a formless, malevolent entity, hungry for their souls. Sarah, in a moment of clarity, remembered the rituals described in the letters. She frantically recreated the symbols on the floor, chanting the incantations. But the spirit was too powerful, its wrath too great. The rituals had been incomplete, and the spirit demanded its sacrifice. In a final, horrifying twist, Jake was dragged into the darkness, his screams echoing through the house. Sarah barely escaped, stumbling into the daylight, her mind shattered by the experience. The house stood silent once more, its thirst for souls temporarily sated. The diary, now returned to its place on the desk, waited for the next curious soul to open its pages. The locals noticed the change in Sarah, her once bright eyes now hollow, her laughter replaced by silence. They knew the house had claimed another, and the cycle would continue. The diary, a conduit for the spirit's malevolence, would lure again, and the forgotten diary would never rest.